we've got college basketball March Madness coming up already. The Big Ten tournament begins. Michigan and Michigan State playing early on this week as they open tournament play. We know that women's basketball's tournament has already began, but we're all focused on the high school game locally. Orchard Lake St. Mary's on the boys' side still in the game in the quarterfinals tonight, but the West Bloomfield Lakers girls varsity basketball team, they're in the regionals right now. Started off their campaign last evening at Marion High School where they took on the Detroit Renaissance Phoenix and took home a big win. Final score 61-48 in that matchup, Kevin. But just before the game, I had a chance to talk to someone in Laker Nation who's quite familiar with being this far along in the playoffs and winning some important games. West Bloomfield football coach Zach Hilbers spoke with me and gave me some perspective on his team and how he draws similarities to his football players and the girls on Coach Darren McAllister's team as they pursue a state championship.
I would definitely say it starts with like the focus and the dedication. Like we have a sport-specific weight training class, which is probably 80-90% football kids at the school. And Summer in India and Sheridan Beal and Jaylee and Kendall Hendricks and Destiny, a lot of these girls have been in that class. And they're right there toe-to-toe with our kids, like working just as hard as them, doing everything that we ask of them. And it's a daily thing, and it's a mindset that they've always kind of had.
And how does that translate to them in the classroom too? Because you're also a teacher, you've taught a lot of these students.
Yeah.
Now, does that reflect also in how they behave in the classroom?
For those kids specifically, I'd say, yeah, 100%. They're great students. They do what they're supposed to, like throughout the entire day. Whether it's like their assignments that are scheduled that they're supposed to do, or like the extra work and all the little things, I guess, that sometimes slip through the cracks in high school. Like, they're just really good kids, and they're excellent in everything they do, so it doesn't surprise me that it happens on the basketball court.
And you get to this time of the year, it's winning time. It's time to start playing your best ball. So, as a coach and as a fan of this team, you put yourself in that mindset. If you're in Coach McAllister's position, how are you getting these girls ready for this point in the playoffs?
Well, it's definitely nerve-wracking because you can be, like I said, excellent in everything you do. You can be great all year, and one off night against the right team, it could be all over, right? And it's like that in any sport when you get into a playoff format, and Detroit Renaissance is really good, and they're definitely capable of going toe-to-toe with us. So, you just got to hope that your girls are on their best on the biggest stage.
What about these girls? What about this team that you've seen this year, and as they've developed over the last several years, do you think makes them championship ready again in 2024?
I think a lot of it's getting the taste of it when the seniors were sophomores, of winning the state title, and a lot of them were a part of that team and obviously key components, but then getting right back to that final game last year and losing. It leaves you with, a bitter taste in your mouth and a chip on your shoulder that they got something to prove, that it wasn't a one-time thing, that they're going to come out here and get it done again. So, we're all behind them and we're pulling for them. We hope we get it done.
What impresses you most about this team?
Their focus, their relentlessness. I was there Friday night when Farmington Hills Mercy put together a great first half and an awesome second quarter. They're hitting every shot that they threw in, and our girls just kind of never wavered. They stuck to it, made a couple adjustments, and just came out there rolling in the second half and did what they had to do. So, life and sports kind of goes up and down in waves, and these girls just really do a good job of staying through and focusing on the goal.
Yeah, this is a team that's very vocal. They communicate really well with each other, Kevin, and that keeps them in these games often, especially when other teams sort of have a chance to get close or keep close with them early on in the game. You saw that late last week as they advanced into the regionals, and that was definitely the case last night as well, as Detroit Renaissance played a very physical game and kept things close early on.
No, they are a very solid, well put together team. Coach Darren McAllister does a great job motivating them, making sure they're all on the same page. And, the second half in any sport, for the most part, is a completely different game. Whatever you do in that locker room to change your mentality and get ready, it obviously turns out to be something completely different. And it works out in the end for West Bloomfield every time. So congratulations to the Lakers.
Yeah, Lakers last night again, 61-48 was the final score as they defeat Detroit Renaissance at Marion High School to advance into the regional finals. And it was relatively close after the first quarter, and even going into the later portions of the second quarter, with the game being single digits almost all the way in to about midway through the third. However, I had a chance to talk after the game also about the game kind of being a brawl at first in the paint, and then also having elements of a bit of a shootout from the perimeter. Coach Darren McAllister talked to me about the matchup after his Lakers' big regional semifinal win over Renaissance.
Well, we knew that was going to be the most physical game that we were going to play all year. So we knew we had to come out there and set the tone and say, hey, we're a physical team as well. We might not be as tall as you guys are, but we're a physical team. We play hard and we play together, and it showed tonight.
What were some of the areas you were looking for your team to improve on as they went up against arguably the toughest competitor you've got in the next couple of games as you get toward the latter parts of these playoffs?
Well, the thing we want to show is we want to show that at the end of the day, we can come out there and play with high energy, high effort. We can play focus and play as a team. And I think we did that tonight, because that team's a real good team. They're not one of the top 3 teams, the top 4 teams in the state for a reason. I mean, they're a top 4 team because they got some players, they got a great coach, and they can get out there and play some basketball. But we play basketball over there at West Bloomfield too.
And that first half, they were shooting the lights out. That really kept them in the game, that perimeter shooting, particularly from deep. What adjustments did you make in that second half to limit their shots outside?
We just knew at that time, we know that their strategy is they have a post player that's about 6'4", high major player. Then they got shooters on the outside. So it's sort of, you got to pick your poison if you're going to play a regular defense. But we knew in order to take advantage of it, we got to put pressure on the ball. So we put pressure on them, disrupt their offense, and we came away with the victory.
Where does your team go from here in terms of preparation, knowing you're inching closer and closer to getting back to East Lansing and starting to get that taste of a potential championship?
Well, the beautiful part about it is we've been before. This is nothing new for us. This is not uncharted territory. So we know what it takes to get there. We know what it takes to finish the job. We know what it takes to get there and not finish the job. You better believe we focus and we're ready to finish the job this year.
And your key players played excellent tonight. Summer and India Davis scoring the ball, Kendall Hendricks physical down low, and Destiny Washington setting up the team really well. But your younger players got involved too. How much of a team effort was that to make what was really a complete team win tonight?
It was solely a team effort. But I want to commend my 4 seniors. Destiny, our floor general, handled the ball on the offensive end, played solid defense. Summer, she's a player, go out there and get a lot of buckets, but tonight she said, okay, the shot's not there, they're trying to face guard me, I'm going to get my teammates involved. And she showed right then and there that she can do that, and she shows why she's one of the best players, not just in the state, but in the country. What people don't know is India was sick. India was sick and then he practiced yesterday and played her butt off. I have utmost respect for that kid. And here you go, Kendall, going up against a 6'3" player or 6'4" player that's a high major. Man, Kendall's high major in my book.
What message do you have for Laker Nation as they get ready to come right back here on Wednesday night and maybe even see you guys clinch a spot in the quarterfinal?
It's simple. Bring out your camouflage and get your popcorn ready.
Darren McAllister, of course, wearing the camouflage. The team has adopted that as part of their identity this year, as they have gone from being the hunters to the hunted, and now they're trying to be the hunters again while also kind of remaining off in the shadows and hiding in plain sight. So that's where that camouflage comes from, and they're a really entertaining team as well. So, of course, always encouraging teams to get their popcorn ready. I had a chance to talk to one of their key players also. Summer Davis had another big game last night. She played excellent ball, as did her sister India. Kendall Hendricks was a big player from the boards, and as Coach McAllister said, others being great facilitators and role players as well. Summer Davis talked to me about how her team's staying focused ahead of their next game in the regionals, but also keeping their eyes set on the prize as they get closer and closer to their 3rd consecutive trip to East Lansing.
I think just staying poised on this journey to the Breslin and just staying consistent. I think our team has a lot of heart this year and a lot of chemistry, so I think that's going to help us go really far this year and win it all.
Physicality played such a big part of tonight's game. How key has it been for your team to maintain that level of toughness and aggression, especially on defense when you're facing a team that's got as powerful of bigs as Renaissance?
I think it's very important to stay tough the whole entire game, and we just outworked them this time, and I think we came out the win.
What are you looking forward to as you go back here on Wednesdays in terms of what improvements need to be made going forward?
Just being able to execute, knowing a good shot, bad shot, and just being able to get through the plays and play great defense.
When you get to this point, can you start to feel it? Can you start to feel like that championship's within reach?
Yeah, it's feeling really close.
All right, Summer, anything else you want to say about tonight's game?
Go Lakers.
Yeah, the Lakers winning last night 61-48 over the Detroit Renaissance Phoenix. Kevin, another impressive win for them. And as Coach McAllister said, it's a top 10 team in the state. They got some high caliber players on that squad. And West Bloomfield went toe-to-toe with them, battled it out, and ultimately, like they did last week and as they've done so many times throughout the season against some really tough teams, ended up inching away later on in the game and eventually running away with it.
Let me tell you, man, from the one game that I've been to, the star players, the twins, India and Summer Davis, they are locked in. When I say locked in, like they are laser focused on the goal. And it shows. It shows in the box score and it shows at the end of the game too, because they come out with the wins that they need. So whatever they're doing, it's working. They're locked in and they're tunnel vision for that goal, the finals, the state finals.
Yeah, the Lakers will take on the Royal Oak Ravens on Wednesday night, right back at Marion High School. The then 18-6 Ravens last night in the earlier game defeated the then 19-5 Grosse Pointe North 53-48. That was a close game. It came down to shooting and limiting mistakes later on. Royal Oak did that very well. A big OAA cross-division matchup in the regional final coming up on Wednesday.